Okay, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you Shahid Bhai for creating this channel where we meet all these wonderful people and get wonderful ideas. So uh, he asked me that I should talk about options trading or how people can use uh, various option strategies to their advantage. And people are still joining. So before we start, there's a disclaimer that some people they say that as per some scholars, option trading may not be halal. So please do your own research and make a decision as per your conscience. I'm not going to make a decision, or I'm not going to make a comment that whether it is halal or not. Uh, check, do your own research, make a decision as per your own faith. Secondly, I'm not a professional trader or anything, and I'm not providing any legal or professional opinion. It is investments in stock is risky, as everyone knows, and in options it could be even more risky. So do your due diligence before you make any uh, investment decisions. So just to start, I will. I believe most of the people who have joined the call they know what are options, but just I will spend like 1 minute to explain what is options. So when we say option, that is a contract of 100 shares. In case of call option, the person who is buying the call option, he has the right to buy the share at the strike price. Whenever options are being sold, we talk about two things. The one is strike price, and the one is expiry date. That means that the person who is buying, he has the right, he does not have the obligation, it is his choice that before the expiry date at any time, he can exercise and buy those shares at that strike price. I give an example over here that let's suppose a builder is building houses and you go and buy a house from that builder by putting an initial deposit. Normally, for example, in Toronto's market, the builder would say no matter what happens to the price, if you have agreed a contract with me, then you are liable for the full price. Like if the house is for $500,000, no matter if the price drops or price increases, you will have to buy that house on the closing date. However, in some options, in some markets, for example, in Calgary, I remember over there, since the real estate market was not so much hot like Toronto, so builder would give you an option. He would say that if for some reason at the closing you feel that the prices have now gone down, and the price for which you have signed the contract, if it is too high, you can just walk away. Only thing you will lose is your initial deposit, and after that you do not have any liability. So that means this option contract is similar to that. That the person who is buying the contract from you, he has the right to buy. But if at that time or if at expiry he feels that now the shares are lower than that strike price, he will just walk away. Only money he would lose is what he has paid to you as a premium. But if the price has gone high than the strike price, then he would exercise that right and buy the shares from you at the strike price. So you will get the strike price, and option premium you get right away whenever you sell the option. So obviously, as the price of the stock goes high, call premium will also go up. And if the stock price keeps going down, then the premiums will go down. And at the expiry date, if the price of the stock is less than the strike price, then option would expire worthless. Similar to call option, we have put option. I'll explain. I'll give 1 minute over here as well to see to explain what is a put option. So put option is basically opposite of the call option. Over there, the holder of the call, he has the right to buy. Over here, the holder of the put option has the right to sell the share at a strike price. So you have some shares. You have bought Apple shares at $110, and you say that if the price goes down, like way down, you want to basically have a kind of a stop loss or a mechanism to have a guaranteed price. What you can do is you can buy puts for let's suppose $100, $100 strike price. So after 2 months at the expiry, if the share of the Apple has gone down to even 90 or 80, you can still sell it at $100. So if the stock price goes down, put premium will go up, and if stock price goes up, put premium will go down. Obviously, it will expire worthless if the stock is trading higher uh, than the strike price at the expiry. So I believe most of the people who have joined the call, they already know what is a call option and what is a put option. In both the cases, it is a contract of 100 shares. In the case of call, the person who is buying the call, he has the right, and the person who is selling the call, he has the obligation to sell the shares at that price. And put is opposite, that the person who is having the put, who has purchased the put, he can sell at that price, and the person who is selling the put, he has the obligation to sell it at he has the obligation to buy at that price. Okay, so now let's come to basically, as you might have heard, that options are very risky. So I'll explain when they are risky and when they are relatively less risky. For example, if you are selling a naked call, like you do not have the shares, but you are selling a call that you will be selling the shares of Tesla, for example, let's suppose at 450. So it is kind of equivalent of shorting Tesla. If the share of the Tesla, let's suppose, even goes to 600 or 700, now you will have to provide him shares at 550. So how we can so that becomes very risky if you're selling the call option without having the shares. However, there is a less risky way, that if you are holding shares already, then basically your risk is limited because you have the shares and then you can provide it at that strike price. So, for example, you bought Tesla at $440 and now the price has come down. So one way to cover your loss is that you can sell call options or covered call options to collect the premiums. So let's go and see what is the, for example, how you can make money doing that, or how you can decrease your losses. Sorry, let me go to Yahoo Finance and I'll show you some examples of what kind of premiums we can get if we have certain shares. So call options and put options, in both cases, premium will be high whenever the share is very volatile. So you would notice that shares like Nikola, shares like Tesla, they would have very high call premiums as well, and even their puts are also very high premium because share price changes so much. So let's look at Tesla right now. So in Yahoo or in your broker, you search the share and then you can go to this options.
Can you share your screen? I think we are looking at the PowerPoint.
Oh yes, wait a minute. Let me try. Yeah, I was just.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Okay. So now you should be able to see the whole screen, I guess. Are you able to see Yahoo Finance Tesla page which I have opened?
Yes.
Yes.
And if I switch back to presentation, now you can see the presentation.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. So let's look at Tesla. So for example, right now, if when the market opens or even in the if you buy Tesla at $372, so one less risky way of reducing your basically cost basis is that you can sell covered calls because you already have the shares. So your risk is not much, because if the price goes way high, you will just hand over your shares at the strike price. And as I mentioned that for more volatile shares, the call premiums would be higher. So for example, and another thing is that for more liquid shares, or for the shares which have very high volumes, which have a lot of interest, options have weekly expiries. For the shares which are not traded that much or where volatility is less, options have only like monthly expiry. So for Tesla, which is very volatile and very heavily traded, you can see that we have options for every week and every month and so on and so forth. So right now we are on 13th September. Let's look at October 9th. which is roughly a month from now, and let's look what kind of call premiums we can get if we sell the covered call. Let's suppose you have bought the share at $372, and I don't know, some people would buy it for long term and they want to sell it at 600 or whatnot. Some people who are swing traders, they might just buy it for like 10% or 15% gain, and they say if it reaches 450, I will sell it. So whatever price for which you are comfortable selling it, select that strike price. So for example, over here, if you are comfortable selling it for 375, right now, then and there, if you sell it at the call, you can get $41.90 per share. So if you're selling one call, that means it is 100 shares. So you would be getting 41 into 100 is 4,000. So you will be getting $4,200 right then and there when you sell this call. What this means is that on October 9th or before that, that person who has purchased that call from you, he can buy the shares from you on $375. So even if the share goes to $600 on battery day, he can purchase it for $375. However, remember that whoever is buying that call option, 99% cases, he will not exercise it just before the expiry date, because if the share is trading at, let's suppose, $700, this call premium would be $221. So he would just sell the call option to make more money rather than exercising it. So in most cases, you will have to wait till October 9th to get your money, and then shares would be gone. Till October 9th, when you sell the covered call, your shares kind of would be locked. You cannot trade those shares. Otherwise, that call would become naked, and then your margin and then your risk can go very high. So when you sell the covered calls, basically your shares are put on hold. They are kind of locked. You cannot sell them unless you close the call, and when you sell the call, you will get the premium immediately. So most of you may not be willing to sell it for $375 only, but let's suppose I want to sell it for $410. So even at $410, right now the call premium is $29.30. So this means if you bought the Tesla shares at $372, right now when you sell the call, you will get $29. So if you reduce 372 minus 29, that means your cost basis of Tesla share would be $340. And now you're making a contract to sell it at $410. So as long as it goes above 410 on that October 9th, it would be sold. If it stays even at 409, you keep your shares, and you also keep this $29 which you have collected while selling the call premium. So basically, effectively, your Tesla share cost average would be $372 minus $29. And if you want to sell it even for $500, I generally, if I'm selling the calls, I tend to pick a strike price which I feel is never going to happen, because I'm okay getting less money, but I want to most of the time I just want to keep my share so that I can sell the call options again next month as well. So even you can sell the call option for $500 as well. So even if you sell it for $500 strike price, then you would get $12.90 per share. That is $1,290 right now when you sell the call. And if it goes at $500, then I'm comfortable because I'm making like $130 profit per share anyways. And if it is below $500, then I can repeat this circle again. Depending upon what is the share price of Tesla at that time, this call premium for the $500 could be way higher next month, or it could be even lower. Another thing which you can do is, for example, you sold this call, for example, today for $400, and you collected $3,250 for one call. If share price drops drastically, this call premium will also reduce. So you can even buy back your call, and then if share goes higher again, then you can sell the call again. So as I said, if you sell the call, your shares are locked. So in order to unlock those shares, you have to buy back the call. If the call has gone higher, then of course it wouldn't make sense to buy it back. But if call price has gone down and you feel that it can come back in 2-3 days, you can buy the call again And when after 4 or 5 days or whenever you feel that now share has gone up again, you can sell the call again. For example, this has happened in Nikola with me recently. When Nikola was trading around $55, I sold a call for $65 strike price for, I believe, $250. Next day when Nikola crashed, I bought that call back at $40. So I keep $200. My shares are still there. I can sell the call again and so on and so forth. You can repeat this like whenever you want, how often you want. Let's take an example of Nikola as well. Nikola also is because of that fraud or whatnot, those charges. It's very volatile. So call options at this time are have high premiums. So for example, let me mute people again. Okay, how do I mute people? Okay, if you're not speaking, just mute yourself, please. Okay, so over here also, if you buy the Nikola shares, for example, let's suppose $32, you can sell a call for even $40 at $1.35. You can sell the $35 call even at $2.91, which is about 5 or 6% of the price of the Nikola. So this strategy would make more sense where volatility is somewhat high. This call premiums would be very little in the share in those shares where share price does not change much. For example, I was looking at this TNT shares. So over here, if you look right now, the stock is trading at $29. So even only for $29, the call premium is just 31 cents. And if you go at 30, it is like almost negligible. It's about 4 cents. When you're selling the calls, there is a significant commission. For example, the commission is $10 or whatever your commission is with the bank. In Canadian side especially, it is quite high. Plus, it would be $1.25 per contract. So if you're selling 100 contracts for 10,000 shares, that means the commission would be $135 when you're selling the calls. And if you have to buy back the calls, then it would be again $135. So it would not make sense in TNT at all because premium is almost negligible. In my case, for example, I had American Airlines. I purchased it in somewhere March and April, and I purchased it at relatively high price. I believe I purchased it around $13. But every month I pick a strike price. For example, right now, October 9th, if I pick, let's suppose, $16 or $18, right now, okay, it has gone considerably down because when it is about at $13, is it for October 9th? I can, right now it's showing, I don't know if this is a glitch or something, because it's supposed to be a little higher. This is way less than I was expecting it. Yeah, I think that was not loading properly. Let's go back to October 9th, which is a month from now. Yes, see, for $15, it is 55 cents. So if I have 1,000 shares, I will sell the calls for $550. And if it goes to 15, then it's fine because I purchased the shares for $12 or $13 and I have sold the call like 3-4 times already. But in most, if it doesn't go there, then I have collected the $550 and then again I can sell the call next month as well. And not only just 15, I can even go to some price which I feel is very less likely to go. For example, I can even go to $17 or even at $16 because it would give me 300 or about that many dollars for just 1 month. And then we can repeat it every month and so on and so forth. Something similar to calls. Any questions about the calls over here? So using this strategy of selling covered calls, you can reduce the cost basis of your shares. If you bought something expensive, then just start selling its covered calls every week and even every month you can sell. Depending upon how much commission your brokerage is charging, for me, I mostly trade with Scotia and RBC, etc. So commission is relatively a little higher. So for me, it makes sense to sell covered calls on a monthly basis. But if you're trading maybe with Interactive Broker or some other broker where call premium is where call commission is significantly low, then you can even sell weekly calls as well. So similar to calls, you guys can also sell puts. That could be a little riskier than selling calls. However, for example, you are looking at a share. Let's suppose you are looking at Nikola shares right now. Okay, so no, this is not Nikola. And we know that there are fraud charges and whatnot, and it is crashing. But everybody might have some price in their mind that, okay, if it drops to that level, then I am comfortable buying it because I know that it would bounce back. Obviously, whenever you are investing, you are taking a risk. So for some people, it could be that if it goes to $10, I would buy it. For some people, it could be if it goes to $20, then I'm okay buying it. So if you are comfortable buying it at $20, you can sell a put. So if you sell the put for one contract, you would get $2.10 per share, which is $210 per contract. If share price by October 2nd goes to 20, you will have to buy those shares at $20. Even if it is $14 and $13, you will still have to buy it at $20. But if it does not goes to $20, if it just bounces back, then you get to keep this premium. For Nikola, because of that high volatility thing and because of the fraud charges, people are selling its $5 puts as well. So on Friday itself, this actually tells you how much Nikola is volatile or how much it can go down, basically. So on Friday itself, for $5 strike price, there were a volume of, this is open interest, volume was 2,167. So 2167, which is basically about 200,000 shares, its puts were sold for $5 strike price. So if you are okay buying Nikola at $5, you can sell the puts and you will get 22 cents today. So if it is below $5 on October 16, you will have to buy it. If it does not come to $5, you keep this 22 cents and then you can sell the put again for next month if you feel that it can go down to $5, if it won't go to $5. This could be a bit risky. For example, if Nikola just goes to bankruptcy and their share becomes worthless, you will still have to buy it at $5. So if you're selling puts, you will need to have the required margin. So for example, if you are selling puts for 1,000 shares at a strike price of 5, that means you must have a margin of $5,000. You won't be charged anything unless it gets assigned. You will just get $220 when you sell the contract for 1,000 shares. But you need to have a margin of $5,000. If the margin is less than $5,000, it won't let you sell. And to selling puts, you might have to sign some extra paperwork with the bank because it's a bit more risky. So I believe, okay, I have talked about covered calls. In addition to, so this is just if you have, basically I mostly wanted to talk about this covered calls because if people have bought something and they want to reduce their cost basis. In addition to this, you can also buy calls. For example, if you believe that Nikola is going to go up, you can buy its calls for $2, $2.20 and so on, whatnot. And if it goes back to $50, then you can make good money. However, as with every investment, there is risk. For example, right now you can buy, wow, Nikola calls is so expensive, I won't even consider buying it because even for $35, you are putting $6.32 already on the table. So if it does not reach $35, you will lose all of this. So Nikola at this time, it has so much volatility, but for example, another share XLE, I have its call options which are way down than what I bought, but I will give you an example. So it's an index fund of oil companies. So whenever oil prices goes up or whenever there's a oil market is little better, this fund would go up. So it's if you just look like I believe 2-3 months ago in June it went to $45-$46, and if we just look at, let's suppose it's 1 year chart, then it was trading around $60 or whatnot. So if you want to buy its options, if you believe that oil would bounce back in 6 months time or in 1 year time, so there is an option to buy its January 2020 calls, so which is about 14-15 months from now. So if you believe that oil will bounce back in next 5 or 6 months, and we know that pre-COVID it was trading around $60. I'm not talking about crude, I'm talking about XLE. So XLE was trading about $60 pre-COVID. So let's suppose we believe that it would bounce back in next 4 to 5 months. I believe it has. My Zoom is telling me that it would be gone in another 10 minutes. So we'll just try to wrap it up. So we just say if you believe that it would go back to $45 or $46 in the next 4 or 5 months, then you can buy a call for $40 strike price for only $2.08. So right now, if you put $2,000 and oil bounces back, and if it goes to even $50, which is way less than what it was before COVID, which was $60, even if it goes to $50, so if it is at $50, since you have a strike, since you have an option to buy it at $40, you will exercise your option, and then buying the share at $40, you can immediately sell it for $50, and your profit would be like $8 per share. So you're only spending $2,000 for 1,000 shares, and your potential profit could be whatever is the price minus $40 at that time when you are executing it. So normally people would execute it only at the expiry. Before expiry, they can just sell it at the higher premium, because depending upon the share price, option premium will have gone up significantly. If this share goes to like $50, then this $2 card would be at least $12 or even more. There is a website which you can use. Let me go back. Options profit calculator, which, for example, if you're buying a XLE call, which it will show you how much profit or how much money it can generate depending upon what is the XLE price at that time. So if we are buying a $40 call, so this chart basically shows you, for example, in June, if XLE price reaches $50 in June 2020, or $51 in June, so this $2 call at that time would be worth $11. So you are investing $2,000, that would have become $11,000. So buying call options, risk is that you can lose all of that money, $2,000, if it does not reach $40 by then, which is somewhere down here. For example, if it is $27, if it starts going down, you would have lost most of your money. This $2 card would have become $0.20. So high volatility shares, for example, Tesla. I don't know if I can show you over here or not. So Tesla call, I was just looking at it before the split. So $1,800, sorry. I just want to write it here so that $1,800 strike price, call premium for September 4 expiry, that is when the split was happening, was $30 for $1,800 strike price. And on September 4th, Tesla was trading around $2,200. So this $30 call had become around $500. Even I believe I saw it at $600 at some point. So 30 became $600 because Tesla price moved from $1,400 to $2,200 by September 4th. I believe on September 4th, actually, at some point it went to $2,300 or $2,400 as well. So this 30 had become 600. So in high volatility shares, if you believe that the share is going to go up, you can buy the call options if you do not have 100 shares, because not everybody could afford 100 shares of, let's suppose, Tesla or Amazon, because they are so expensive. So in Tesla, if you believe that by battery day, which is on September 22nd, if you believe that by battery day, this is going to go 500, which many people believe that since 500 was its previous high, it can go break that. So you can buy a $500 call. $500 call at this time is $7.20. So just to put in perspective, I had actually these calls for $500. I purchased them before split. At that time, obviously, this 500 was $2,500. So that call was worth $14,000. Like if I convert it to this split, like 140 divided by 5, like $38 roughly. And then it went up to like $60. So when Tesla was at $500 on, I believe, September 4th, this call was worth, if I remember correctly, $60. So from 60, it has dropped to $7.20. So that is why I say that if you are investing in calls, it could be very risky and very same time, since it is risky, it could be very rewarding as well. So if it goes back to $500, then this $7.20 would actually become $50 or $60, depending upon how high it goes from 500. But if it starts going down from here, then this actually would become zero. If by September 25th, this does not reach 500, you will lose 100% of your money which you have used to purchase the calls. Okay, so I think we have 5 minutes before it drops the call. Are there any questions? How do I go back to this call? Let's stop sharing my screen so that if there are any questions I can take. You can type the question in the chat. Because if people are speaking, then there are too many people. Okay. So
Do we have to execute the call on the expiry date, or we can execute it at any time? Suppose if the share price is going up after 4 or 5 days, can I still can I exercise my call option which I purchased?
You can, but it would not make sense because, for example, if the share is trading at $500 and your call is for $400, then if you exercise it, you will make $100 per share, right? But if you sell that call without exercising it, then it would be sold maybe for $105 or $110 or whatnot. For example, let's take a quick look here. Right now, let's suppose you have at this time this September 25th call, and you have a strike price.
Farhan, if you want.
Sorry?
You need to share the screen if you are showing something.
Yes, let me share it again. So let's suppose you have a $300 strike price call right now. So $300. So right now, if you exercise it and you sell the shares, what are you going to get? You're going to get $72, but you can sell this option for $80. So it would not make sense to execute this call. If you want to buy the shares, you can sell this call for $80 and then you can buy shares from open market of $372. So it would only make sense to exercise the call very near to its expiry. Otherwise, call premium would always be higher than however is in the money. We call this in the money option because this is a strike price of 300 and at this time share is trading at $371. So this call has $71 in the money, but you can sell it for $80. So it would not make sense to exercise this call. It would make sense to just sell it and buy the shares from market if you want to buy the shares. Similarly, if you want to go at $350, let's suppose you have a $350 call. Right now, if you exercise the call, you will get only $21 because share is trading at $371 or $372, right? You will get like $22 profit per share, but you can just sell the option for $45 and make more money, right? So yes, you can execute it, but it would not make sense because it would be always worth more than however is it in the money. Only very near to the expiry, it would make sense to exercise it.
So what about from the buyer's perspective? Like if I purchase the call, I'm the buyer, I purchase the call, the share price, the current share price is 370 and I purchase the call, I assume that it would be 500 and after 1 week, it goes to 450. So does it make sense to sell my call option?
Yes, you just sell the option.
Execute. Execute my call option, or should I wait till the expiry date?
No, you if you feel that this is a peak, you just sell the option and make your money and walk out rather than waiting, because you don't know at expiry if it is going to come down. If you are confident that it is going to come down, going to go up, then you just keep it. If you feel that it has already reached a peak, then you just sell your call option rather without exercising it. You just sell it, and then the next person can decide if they want to exercise or not. So short squeeze is when, for example, when people have shorted a stock and their margins call starts coming in, then basically share price goes a little up. So for example, we saw that when Tesla went to $1,700 sometimes. So it went to $1,700, $1,780. So a lot of people were getting margin calls who had shorted the stock, and on the same date it dropped actually back to $1,480.